My shoulder is killing me, man. Every time I go to shoulder press now, I just get this horrible pinching sensation in there, and I just have to stop after the first set. I can't even get a complete set to failure. I just end up with too much pain with it. It's been getting worse too over time, and it seems like no matter what I do, it just keeps coming back. Am I cooked? If you've experienced pain with overhead lifting, then you've probably been told to strengthen your rotator cuff. Rotator cuff, rotator cuff, rotator cuff. So you go online, you try every rotator cuff strengthening exercise under the sun, and you're still having shoulder pain and still having a pinching sensation in your shoulder with any overhead reaching or lifting movements. If you've experienced this, then this video is for you. I'd like to introduce you to my favorite upper body muscle in the entire human body, the serratus anterior. So, first let's talk about what the serratus anterior is. It is a muscle that attaches to the superior and outer border of your first 8 to 9 ribs, and then the anterior and medial border of your scapula or shoulder blade. So it's a muscle that kind of goes along your ribs and attaches to the inside of your shoulder blade there. So why do I love this muscle so much? Essentially, one of the issues we run into with reaching overhead is we rely too much on the glenohumeral joint to provide all of that motion. Glenohumeral joint is just what you think about with your classic shoulder joint. But in order to perform proper overhead reaching, your body needs to also engage what's called your scapulothoracic joint. Scapulothoracic joint is how your scapula interacts with your thoracic spine and additionally your rib cage. So, why is this important? When you reach overhead, the first about 90 degrees, so coming up from the side to about parallel to the ground, most of that motion is coming from the glenohumeral joint. And you have the ball and socket, right, the head of the humerus, and it's rolling upward and gliding downwards. So then once you get to this 90 degrees, in order to get higher, you don't have enough room in just the glenohumeral joint. So we need to get additional motion from your scapulothoracic joint. And what this requires is your scapula upwardly rotating. And when you get past 90 degrees, essentially it's a 2-to-1 ratio of motion coming from the glenohumeral and coming from the scapulothoracic joint. So for every 2 degrees of glenohumeral movement, you get 1 degree of scapulothoracic movement. So when this rhythm, we call it the scapulothoracic rhythm, is messed up, then you end up getting a pinching sensation when usually your supraspinatus tendon, which is one of your rotator cuff muscles, hence why the rotator cuff takes on a lot of the blame, it gets pinched underneath your subacromial arch there. And then that friction and rubbing causes inflammation and creates pain and further restricts movement. So, what does the serratus anterior have to do with this whole situation? So the two main functions of the serratus anterior are scapular protraction, which is essentially pushing your scapula forward like this, and scapular upward rotation. So when this muscle is weak or dysfunctional, then you're not able to upwardly rotate the scapula enough, which causes that impingement sensation in the shoulder and prevents you from being able to lift overhead without pain. So you may be saying, but Henry, I can still raise my arm overhead and I can still complete a full rep of shoulder press, it just causes pain. So why is this muscle so important then? Well, what's happening usually when you're still able to get a full range of motion is your body is compensating in other areas. So what do some of these compensations look like? For one, this is probably the most predominant compensation you'll see when someone is dealing with a dysfunctional scapulothoracic rhythm. You'll see shrugging of the shoulder. So they'll get as high as they can, flexion here, and then in order to get higher, once they run out of space, they'll start shrugging their shoulder and maybe even leaning to the side like that. So in the end, your arm ends up in the same place, but look how contorted your body is for it. This can cause a lot of pain in your upper trap also, and can even lead to headaches and neck pain as well. Another common compensation you'll see, and especially if you're doing a standing shoulder press, is arching of your lower back. So you're here, and then you start to run out of room, and you arch your low back so that you're leaning back and turning this into more of a chest press than you are keeping your rib cage stacked over your pelvis and staying stable. So how do we fix this problem? We need to restore a proper scapulothoracic rhythm. And what that requires is a force couple, or really a force triplet, between your upper trap, your serratus anterior, and your lower trap. So your upper trap is going to help elevate your scapula. This muscle is often overdominant in all of us, and that's why people end up with shrugged up shoulders like this and sometimes head pushed forward. Your low trap helps with the upward rotation and couples with the serratus anterior. So both of those muscles essentially check the upper trap to make sure it's not being overactive and it's not shrugging up like that. So what's the first step in correcting this problem? One, we need to stop doing the activities that are causing pain. If shoulder pressing is creating pain, if pull-ups are creating pain, we need to take a break from that temporarily and find other exercises that still train those muscles but don't cause irritation. Step two, we need to strengthen your serratus anterior and to some extent strengthen your lower trap. And so to begin to strengthen these muscles, we are going to do more isolation movements for them, at least as much as possible. And then once those muscles are engaged, we'll progress to more functional movements that resemble the overhead lifting and other activities that you're trying to get back to, but were causing you pain before. So let's go through some serratus anterior strengthening exercises. Okay, so first exercise we're going to start with for serratus anterior is called a supine serratus punch, or supine punch. So in order to perform this exercise, you're going to lay on your back. Arms are going to go straight out in front of you. And the important thing is that you keep your elbows straight throughout this entire exercise. This is not a chest press. So what you're going to do is reach towards the ceiling without letting your back come off and without bending your elbow. Hold for 3 seconds, come back down. Repeat, 1, 2, 3, back down. So what this exercise is doing is we're training scapular protraction, which as we discussed earlier is one of the main functions of the serratus anterior. Now, that's getting easy, right? You can only do so many weeks and reps with body weight. What we'll do, we'll grab a weight and then perform the same exact thing, still with the 3-second holds and back down, restoring scapular control. Eventually start with a light weight here, and then eventually you can move up to a heavier weight. And again, repeating the same thing, making sure form always stays on point. Do not progress the weight unless you can do it with perfect form. Okay, so you've done a million serratus punches, you're building a good mind-muscle connection with it, you're getting really good at scapular protraction. Next, it's time to stand up. So, we'll repeat a similar exercise, almost identical, but we're just gonna do it standing. This is gonna help integrate your core and force you to not compensate when doing this exercise. When you're on the floor or mat is supporting you, so your body can't compensate how it might when we put you in a standing position. So that's step 2 is stand up, and we're gonna do something similar. Let me show you how to do it. We're gonna take our trusty resistance band here, and you can use this, or if you have a cable machine, that works great also. You are going to set your band / cable machine to about shoulder height level, just below. I'd say aim for around your armpit level. And then arm is gonna straighten out here. Core stays nice and tight. Keep your rib cage stacked over your pelvis for good stability. Arm goes straight away from where it's attached. And then you're just punching forward, holding for 3 again, and letting it come back. Push, 1, 2, 3, and back. You wanna see it from the side, or here. Push, 1, 2, 3, back. Again, making sure that you're keeping good posture and you're not bending the elbow at all. So we don't want to see this, because then you're just doing a variation of a chest press. We want arms straight, pushing forward, and back. This then you can obviously continue to increase the weight on as you get stronger at it. Make sure you're doing both sides. I don't care if it's only one shoulder that's hurting you, we need to strengthen it on both sides to make sure that shoulder pain doesn't then move to the other shoulder once we've fixed the involved side. Okay, so at this point we've gotten pretty good at engaging our serratus. So we've gotten really good at one of its functions, scapular protraction, but now we need to integrate this with upward rotation to a more functional movement. So let me show you the first way we're gonna do that. Okay, so the exercise we're gonna do next is called a serratus wall slide. So what we're gonna need to do this exercise is either a towel. I have this nice Giant's towel, make sure that it slides easily, so one slick side. Shout out Rob for this. Or you're gonna need a foam roller. Foam roller, one thing, just make sure that it is wider than your shoulders are. And you'll see why we need to do that in a minute. This one is a little bit narrow for me, so I haven't been using it and I've been using the towel instead. But if your gym has a wider one, which mine does, sometimes I'll use that instead. And lastly, as the name suggests, you are gonna need a wall. I hope we all have access to a wall, which I think we should. Okay, so to start, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our towel or foam roller. Arms are gonna be just outside of shoulder width. Forearms are gonna stay attached to the wall the entire time. Now, we're gonna push away from the wall with our scapula, the way we just practiced with all of those serratus punches. So we're protracting the scapula, and then we're sliding up as high as you can go while still keeping your forearms fully on the wall. If you feel like your forearms start to come off, it's probably because you're shrugging your shoulders here to compensate. So you're gonna hold that for a couple seconds and then slowly lower back down. Now we're gonna repeat this movement, and if you're doing it correctly, you should feel almost a cramping sensation in your lateral armpit and rib cage area. So I'm feeling it a lot right now in here, which means that I'm doing it correctly. Because remember, serratus anterior attaches to the outer and superior border of your first 8 to 9 ribs. So let's show it from another angle. So again, towel here, shoulder blades stay away from the body. Push up, hold 1, 2, and come back down. Push up, hold 1, 2, come back down. Make sure too in the process you're not leaning into the wall or letting your pelvis sit back. You'll see that automatically brings my shoulder blades back instead of keeping them protracted, and it causes that hyperextension of the lumbar spine that we talked about as a common compensatory strategy. So you've gotten good. You can do sets of 15 of that with nothing and you don't have any issues with it. It's easy. Time to progress it. What are we gonna do? Well, we are gonna take a trusty loop TheraBand. Start very, very light with this because just adding the TheraBand to this exercise will make it significantly harder. You have been warned. This is gonna go around your wrists, like so. Now, we're gonna do the same thing, but you're gonna keep tension in the band the entire time. So, what this is doing is, the band is trying to pull your shoulders into internal rotation here. So you have to engage some of your external rotators here to prevent that. External rotators, part of the rotator cuff, as the name suggests, and they also add stability to the shoulder joint. And now we need to combine them with our serratus anterior, so we're linking our scapulothoracic joint to our glenohumeral joint. So again, we're getting more functional and closer to the actual exercises we're trying to get back to. The band is around my wrists here. Got my trusty Giants towel. Same exact setup on the wall. Forearms close to the wall here. And then you're just gonna press up, making sure that you keep tension on the band the entire time, and slide back down. This band's a bit heavy for me, so you can see I'm shaking a little bit. You can also see how much weaker my left serratus is than my right one. And again, repeat 10 repetitions of that till you can get to 3 sets of 10. Then you can move up to a heavier band until you're at the heaviest band and not having any issues with the exercise. Then it'll be time to move on to a more advanced movement. Okay, next exercise we're gonna do is also gonna require a wall and a loop resistance band. And these are called serratus wall clocks, or wall clocks for short. So, setup is gonna be very, very similar to how it is for the wall side. Band is gonna go around the wrists. You're gonna keep tension in the band the whole time. Forearms are gonna go against the wall, starting just outside shoulder width apart. And now, making sure that the shoulder blades stay protracted and you're not falling inward or arching at your low back. Now we're gonna do one reach diagonally, one reach laterally, and then one reach diagonally downward. So it's up diagonal, lateral, down diagonal. That counts as one repetition. You're gonna do 3 sets of 10 of those on each side. Always making sure that we stay pushed away from the wall. Don't, when you're reaching, start falling into the wall like that, because then we're not working their scapula and serratus. Another benefit of doing this exercise is the arm that's moving is certainly working, but the other arm and scapula is also working because it's having to resist the pull from that other arm. That's why the band stays attached to both arms. When that starts getting easy, you can either go to a heavier band or do it with your arms extended. So this is just because the lever arm is longer, so it's going to be a bit more challenging. But I actually prefer this variation of it because it's a bit more functional and easier to perform without compensation. But again, same thing, up diagonally, laterally, down diagonally. Okay, so we spent a lot of time working on stability and active engagement of the serratus. Now let's start integrating it with some presses. So first exercise, it's gonna be similar more to the serratus punch than it is to either of the wall ones. But what we're gonna do is a serratus push-up. So arms just outside of shoulder width, just the way you would on a normal push-up. Then instead of bending the elbows at all, we're just gonna let the shoulder blades come together, still keeping core tight, and then push away without bending or straightening out. The elbows stay straight the whole time. Hold 1, 2, 3, and come back. And we'll repeat 1, 2, 3, back. Up, 1, 2, 3, back. Okay, so that's called a serratus push-up. There's a couple ways that we can progress this. One, we can grab a resistance band and throw it around our backs the same way you would with a regular weighted push-up. So that's gonna look like here. Same exact thing. Shoulder blades come together, press away, 1, 2, 3. Shoulder blades come together again. So this is just adding a little bit of resistance to it, but the next step, once we've already gotten really good at these, and you don't even necessarily have to add a band to it before moving on to this next exercise, as long as you're maintaining good trunk stability and good shoulder control during the serratus push-up. So next step, we're gonna integrate it with a full push-up. So we're gonna start in regular push-up position here. You're gonna go down, do a push-up, and then at the top, you're gonna protract your scapula, push away, 1, 2, 3, and then back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So now we're integrating actual elbow flexion and extension with scapular protraction and retraction. So this is gonna help integrate more with a pressing movement. Okay, so we've integrated the serratus with a horizontal press. Now it's time to integrate it with a vertical press so we can ultimately get back to pain-free overhead lifting. My favorite way to do this is with a landmine press. So we're gonna do this single arm now too, whereas the last one we did bilaterally. So you're gonna need a bar set up in a corner, how I have it here. If you're worried about damaging your corner, cut a tennis ball and put it at the end of it so that it doesn't damage the wall. You're gonna get into a half kneeling position with the leg opposite to the working shoulder in front. Then you're gonna get the barbell up to your shoulder here. Wrist nice and straight, stacked underneath the elbow here. And then you're gonna press up. And then when you get to the top, you're gonna press out and rotate the scapula upward. You should really feel the serratus working here. Then come back and repeat. So press, push up and out. Back. And obviously then you can keep progressing the weight on this and adding it and getting stronger and stronger. But by the time you've gotten pretty strong at this, you're probably ready to get back into overhead exercises, including overhead shoulder presses. Guys, if you're having shoulder pain, don't freak out. Don't go call the doctor. Don't start catastrophizing and saying your shoulder is cooked, you're never gonna be able to lift again, you're gonna need a shoulder replacement. Get those thoughts out of your mind. Break down what movements are causing the shoulder pain and worsening it. Go to a professional, identify the root cause and fix the root cause and get back to lifting. You're gonna end up being stronger as a result of it because you've found these little weak points that were probably limiting your strength to begin with. And ultimately, in the long run, you're gonna be able to make more gains. So this was my explanation and kind of anatomy course on the serratus anterior, why it's important for restoring that scapulothoracic rhythm to lift overhead pain-free. We went over the anatomy, its function, and some common dysfunctions that can result from weakness there. And then we went over a bunch of strengthening exercises, progressing from simple things like supine punches to more complex things like a single arm landmine press. If you guys found this video helpful, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your favorite muscle is, and I'll catch you in the next one.